We don't need to hear your nerdy foreplay, you two. I'm not about it. Hey guys, your girl HK Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to The Walking Dead World Beyond. We're now on to episode 3, which is called Exit Wounds. So just based on the preview we just saw, we're finally jumping to see some of what happened with Elton and I cannot remember the young man's name who got shot. We saw that in the last season that our young man who got shot there somehow managed to survive, even though he lost a lot of blood. Thankfully, Elton found him in time. Clearly, they are still a subject of interest by the CRM because they know the truth about the fact that Huck was lying about everything. So we're about to jump into the episode, but before we do, you know the drill. If you've been here before and you like what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified when I do more reactions to this show, as well as the OG Walking Dead, which is going to be coming back sometime next year. So hopefully you will join the fan because we would love to have you. All right, that out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right about now. Do I want to know? I don't. This far into the apocalypse, it's just everything's super weird. They got a horse? How?
I'm just saying, after what Huck did, odds aren't good. That's all. Teresa or no Teresa.
Okay, we don't need you to be the rain cloud on our sunshine just now. I know you were shot and you're still a little salty about it, but come on. Elton's never an optimist, except for the fact that he thinks we're all going to die in like 10 years. Don't go anywhere, Teresa. Or maybe run away. Walking Dead and horses don't exactly mix. Oh, these are the weirdos that were pouring flowers and eyes. Don't scam them. Don't you dare scam them. Oh, so nice. Life must be good, Huck, that you get to get laid while other people are just trying to survive. Okay. They're married? Wow. Did I see Aisha Tyler as a director? Hello?
Oh, the souvenir you brought back.
Occupational hazard.
Very clean and defined occupational hazard. Like maybe you did it yourself.
Maybe we can have dinner?
Maybe. Probably not, though.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
She just used you to scratch that itch, and now she's sending you on your way. Guys, maybe you don't need to steal this food. Maybe you could just ask. They might be willing to share if you ask nicely. If they're putting flowers in the dead and stuff.
They have what we need.
I don't need all their food.
You could ask.
Look, I should just ask them what they can spare.
Thank you, Elton. I mean, I also get the fact that Elton's been behind walls this entire time and doesn't realize that, you know, the world outside the walls is pretty gross. But come on.
What are you doing out here?
I was looking for my compatriots. They were headed east looking for their father.
Wow.
Instead,
It's like Eugene Jr.
It's been days since we've eaten. And I know this is a bad idea. My brain and my friend both reject it. But,
With brain and my friend.
shot.
Knock yourself out.
Thanks.
Shoot.
Hey!
Rocco, oh, hey, okay. Sorry. This is just a big...
So what, you're a couple con men?
One.
No, we're not here. He was trying to. I'm sorry.
You don't even have to chase them. Like, clearly this is botched. If you saw good con men, they would not get caught stealing.
Holy shit, they were turnips.
Congratulations, Staff Sergeant. You're cleared to resume active duty here at the complex.
Oh, joy. Proud of yourself?
I think your mother's lying. I think you're lying. Did you manipulate Hope into lying too? Was brainwashing part of how you got her here?
Yes.
So I don't give a damn about how you justify your lies or who your mother is or what name you give yourself. You find my daughter.
My man's reaching back and finding some ancestry here. The motherland, speaking of you, sis. He's just doing that because her mother totally put him in his big place earlier. Why are y'all wasting energy chasing them?
Perhaps there's another aspect of decomposition you'd be more interested in.
One where you're not talking.
So, you know, why focus on the negative when there's also some positives?
She makes a great point. Yeast fermentation, the pyruvate produced through glycolysis releases carbon dioxide before.
We don't need to hear your nerdy foreplay, you two. I'm not about it.
It's divergent thinking like yours that makes this place what it is.
Divergent. And suddenly we're in a movie series. Oh, look at that. Her little ego got stroked. Hope's gonna get sucked into this place, man. How did you not notice that? You might want to move faster, Elton. The ground is alive. Instead of the floor is lava, the floor is zombies. Oh, Lord. Okay, guess who's gonna have to save your butts? Oh, wow, we fancy with it. Why are you traveling without weapons anyway?
Come on. I said just past the
He better have been saved by the corduroy.
Hey! You got bit! It's how you live!
I'm not bit, look!
The way he got all technical with the fabric.
Industrial corduroy.
70s knew what they were talking about. I mean, I was hoping we wouldn't have to keep seeing him in that suit, but that's not quite the way I wanted it to go down.
I talked to Huck.
What did she say?
Nothing.
Who else are you talking
Is she
to?
threatening you?
No.
Did she do
no,
something to Iverson
No, Dad,
Felix?
can you just trust me? Please?
You're asking to trust you when
Do
you're
that
lying to
one
him.
thing.
Of course I trust you.
It was really hard out there.
Not really. Y'all haven't even been season 5 Walking Dead.
Hard.
Hey,
Yes. Oh, they stole your horse. Are these real signs or just their way of keeping people out? Oh, great. Now you guys are going into a cult. This is great.
And then I scavenged some PVC pipe for the air conduit, and I used a vac tube for the fan. There's a lot more to it, but I've been talking a lot.
thanks, Ian.
Wow. She's in nerd heaven.
But I kind of co-opted it to install the sound system. You won't tell your dad, right?
Oh yeah, that's totally the kind of girl I am. Dad, they're making secret radios. Punish them.
All of us from the CR get to go home for 2 weeks every year. Yeah.
Nice you have a home to go back to. Mine was killed to death.
Ooh, you gotta play a game?
Be sure. I won't go easy on you.
Feel like she might have a plan. Maybe she's hoping he's gonna get a little chatty if he's drunk.
We're here.
Can I get my clothes back?
I still don't understand.
Oh! Well, look at that! You found Elton and you're the boyfriend. That's why they didn't kill you. But seriously, you're gonna keep a suit? She's like, aren't you dead? I have questions.
Where's Hope?
Well, there's this thing. So much to catch up on. So much to catch up on. I can't believe we're playing high stakes Jenga.
Because that's what we do. We protect each other. And we always will.
Guilty conscience getting to her, I guess.
What the hell have you been doing?
Kid.
You said it yourself. If the serum
Well,
finds him first,
having sex, pretending she's still into her husband. Busy week for Huck.
I don't give a shit. You're gonna go and you're gonna take me with you. You can try and warn. Just one day. And one day, a whole city of people got wiped out.
Ooh, she went there. She legit didn't give you your clothes back. What a hoe.
It was a routine assignment to put up signs. And instead you bring back 2 more strays?
They're gonna split up from their friends.
We're humans. Don't talk about us like we're cats.
You,
Why is he stirring water? Is that what we're having for dinner? Are we on a diet now? That's not
What's
underdressed.
going on?
5 people are alive who would have been dead. Does that mean they're alive because of your mistakes? Doesn't mean I should be okay with how things went.
Dude's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I just wanted to get laid.
Maybe I can't be with you right now.
Oop. You could have started with that, but the explanation that made no sense. Sure. That's rich. She's like, I'm breaking up with you, but I also want you to do me a favor right now. I hope you don't mind. Girls be trifling. Is Hope in one of those containers? She's small enough to fit.
Drive safely, Stepson.
Whatever, bye. You'll never be me. She doesn't like it. She's gonna check in with her mama. She's a tattletale, I can tell. She's like, I'm the daughter your mother always wanted.
Could I get my tuppy stitch back?
We'll see.
Trifling. Look at him getting his first little girlfriend.
What?
Right?
You seem different.
Well, much more violent and slightly crazy now. Does it suit me?
I'll need your shirt off to clean the exit wound.
Scientific purposes, of course. I feel like he just doesn't smell very good right now, though. But people keep reminding me it's a zombie apocalypse, and I guess people are kind of over people smelling fresh.
It's just, after what Huck did to my uncle, I just...
Yeah, understandable. Oh, your sister's here. Oh, maybe Huck should wait outside. For real, a lot of people want to punch her directly in the face, and she really deserves it. Percy, I'm gonna need you to hide, honey. You're not supposed to be alive. Don't do anything stupid. Is that where we're ending? Okay, guys. Well, that was episode 3, which was called Exit Wounds. And we now have our updates on what was going on with Elton and Percy. Could not remember his name for half the episode. I should have remembered. Anyhow, it was good to see that obviously Percy is slowly but surely recovering. It was an interesting scenario that they were giving us with Elton and Percy and the two kids there. I like that they still have the idea of, you know, inside the walls versus outside the walls going on. You know, we see that they see the two kids, they see that they have food, and right away Percy goes straight into the mode that he's been in for the last God knows how many years of his life, of assessing the situation and figuring out how to take advantage of it. And we've got Elton, who of course has lived his cushy life within the walls. I mean, we know from last season Elton's been through some stuff, but you know what I mean. He just thinks that, like, why don't we just go up and ask them? And if that doesn't work, then we think about an alternative, maybe less friendly plan. But I like that there's kind of two sides of the coin that were being argued there. Elton at a point in the sense of there still are good people in the world. Like, yes, there's a lot of crazy stuff that's gone down, a lot of distrustful people, but there's also a lot of good people. And if you start out with trust and with good faith, then it's a very good chance that it could be returned to you. However, I also understand where Percy's coming from. Elton's grown up in a very sheltered environment. He does not know how the world is. He does not realize how depraved and twisted and just desperate people can get when they've been on the outside for as long as he has or other people have. So I understand him approaching with caution, and he's especially distrustful right now, obviously, because he's been shot and nearly died. And that's the kind of thing that will definitely put you on edge about people in general. So I do understand where they're both coming from, but I like that they kind of throw that little question up there for us to contemplate as an audience, you know, of like, where do you go going forward in this world? Like, I think we're going to have a lot of that back and forth with these viewpoints go on throughout the season. Anyways, we see that unfortunately Elton was doing fairly well as far as, you know, getting this food. And then of course, Percy ruins it by going behind Elton's back and putting his plan into action anyways. And of course it goes sideways. They run into trouble almost immediately, and thankfully the kids save them. But we find out that the real reason they did it was because they knew about them and they'd heard about them thanks to Iris and Felix. So thankfully they've been rescued now. They're now in better hands. I had a feeling that they were going to find each other first in this situation. I didn't think the show was going to take too much time reuniting at least this group, because we kind of need to have like the inside and outside groups. You know what I mean? We've got inside the belly of the beast with Hope and her father and Huck and Silas now, and then we've got the other side that are outside. So now that they're all together, I mean, this is good because honestly, bless them, we know that poor Elton was not going to do very well out there for very long, and with Percy still being injured, you know, they were definitely still more of a liability than not. But anyway, we also got the fact that now Elton is up to speed with what happened back at the campus colony in Omaha by extension. And while he doesn't really have any family left, like that was one of the main reasons he left the campus colony last season, was because he didn't have any more ties to anyone there. That's still the community that raised him, essentially. So obviously it's still a very keen loss for him. And then we saw that with Iris and Percy potentially picking up when we left off last season, there was definitely a lot of flirtation going on there. And it looks like there's still a little bit of a spark, but obviously there's a lot of other stuff going on right now. Percy is definitely still very justifiably angry and still wants his revenge. And we see there towards the end of the episode that he sees Huck, and understandably he's probably seeing red right now. I'm really hoping that somebody stops him from doing anything crazy, because I still don't think it's a good thing for Huck to know that he's alive. But at this point, it really isn't too much of a liability for her because all the secret is out now. But still, you know, she did try to kill him. So hopefully Percy will be smart enough to either not make any moves or someone will stop him before he does something silly. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with this conversation, if Iris has a chance to say anything to her sister, what they're going to talk about, because obviously they can't go back yet. Like, Iris is not going to want to go to the CRM at this point. Neither is Felix, because he's not going to leave. Felix is not going to leave his husband or fiance. And there's no way that Iris is ready to go into the belly of the beast where she's going to be watched and controlled at this point. So anyway, I think it'll be an interesting conversation, and I do look forward to seeing that. Outside of that, we just had, of course, a little bit of Huck, you know, reassimilating or trying to reassimilate to life inside the CRM. We see that she's got all of her privileges back, but we do see that she's clearly still struggling with this decision. She's trying to feel good about this reinstatement to her old life, but clearly the 2 years away from the CRM have changed her. And I think we're going to see more of just how much has changed her as the season goes on. But this is kind of our first taste of, even though she's back and she's back with her, looks like her husband, back in her old apartment, back with her old rank, she's still not happy. Her conscience is kicking her ass, as it should be. And yeah, we're going to have to see how she navigates that now and still manages not to screw up and end up, you know, potentially getting in a worse place than she was before. Outside of that, of course, we still see that Hope is dealing with life in the CRM. You know, I'm really not into her and this smart boy and their little back and forth flirtation. I get it. She's a teenager. We have to go with some of these storylines, but I'm thinking that her and Smart Boy, who makes the liquor as well, potentially he might be an ally for her inside the CRM, but I don't know how much she can trust him at this point, because he does seem to be drinking the Kool-Aid. Maybe if Hope tells him some truths about the CRM that he's not aware of, since apparently Portland is still standing, maybe he might be, you know, someone who can be an ally for her, because her and her dad are powerful, but they're not powerful enough at this point to really cause real ripples in order to get themselves out, if that's what has to happen. So we'll have to see if she gets more and more seduced. I definitely see her having that crises of, as I already predicted, of kind of liking what's going on at the CRM and having her scientific itches scratched, but at the same time feeling guilty and still experiencing the trauma of what happened on her way there, and realizing that there are still people she cares about that are out there and probably in danger. Yes, exit wounds indeed. We'll have to see how things go going into the season, but I think now that we've got, you know, accounted for all the members of the gang, we're going to start to see some real moves as far as how they plan on doing anything with the CRM and exactly what they plan on doing, because I feel like the CRM is a lot bigger than this small group of people who might want to take them down. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this episode along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next video.